Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wisdom and Wit, the show that'll make you laugh, cry, and question your life choices all in one night. I'm Jimmy, your guide through this comedic cesspool. Now, let's dive right in. So, have y'all heard about this judge dismissing the January 6th case against our boy Trump? Talk about a plot twist. It's like when you're watching one of them fancy French movies, and suddenly everyone's speaking English. But seriously, folks, this dismissal is a big deal. It's like when your wife catches you with your pants down in the chicken coop, and you convince her you were just inspecting the eggs. You know you're guilty as sin, but somehow you walk away scot-free. Now, I'm not saying Trump's guilty. Hell, I'd sooner admit my cousin's attractive than say that. But you gotta admit, it's a pretty sweet deal. It's like getting a get-out-of-jail-free card, except instead of Monopoly money, it's paid for with taxpayer dollars. And let me tell you, this dismissal came with all the bells and whistles. It was without prejudice, which in legal terms means we might change our minds later, so don't get too comfortable. It's like when your mama says, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed." You know you're off the hook for now, but you better watch your step. But here's the kicker, folks. This dismissal, it's all because of some fancy Justice Department policy. Apparently you can't indict a sitting president. It's like trying to arrest the bull while he's servicing the cows. You just gotta wait your turn. This policy's been around longer than my grandpappy's underwear. And let me tell you, those things have seen some serious action. But I digress. The point is, this policy's older than dirt, and about as useful in most cases. But for Trump, it's like finding out your ex-wife's new boyfriend is allergic to oxygen. Suddenly, all your problems just disappear. Now, I'm not saying Trump's taking advantage of this policy. That'd be like accusing a fox of having ulterior motives for guarding the henhouse. I'm just saying, if I were in his shoes, I'd be grinning wider than a possum eating something it shouldn't. And let's not forget about this special counsel, Jack Smith. Poor bastard's probably feeling like a neutered dog at a fire hydrant convention. All that work, all those investigations, and now he's got to pack it all up because the Constitution says so. It's like when you spend all day setting up the perfect prank, only to find out your target's got explosive diarrhea. Sure, it might be funny, but it ain't the payoff you were hoping for. But here's where it gets interesting, folks. While Trump's getting off scot-free, his buddies aren't so lucky. It's like when you and your friends decide to streak through the town square, but you're the only one with a get-out-of-jail-free card. These co-defendants in the Mar-a-Lago case, they're still on the hook. It's like being the only sober guy at a DUI checkpoint. Sure, you might be innocent, but you're still gonna have a bad time. It just goes to show, folks. In politics, it's not about what you know, it's about who you are. And if you're the president, well, you might as well be wearing a suit made of Teflon. But enough about me and my politically incorrect observations. It's time to bring out our next act. He's a man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway because that's what I'm paid for. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the man, the myth, the legend, Donald.
Well, thank you kindly, Benji. I haven't seen an introduction that's smooth since I greased up my cousin Cletus for the annual hog wrestling contest. Now, speaking of slippery situations, y'all hear about Trump's latest tariff threat? Trump's threatening a 25% tariff on everything from Canada and Mexico unless they stop the flow of drugs and illegal immigrants. I tell ya, that man's more obsessed with walls than a claustrophobic mime. He's gonna build a wall of tariffs so high, even them Mexican pole vaulters can't get over it. But here's the kicker, folks. He wants this done by January 20th. That's faster than a New York minute. And we all know how much Trump loves New York. About as much as a vegan loves a steakhouse. I reckon Canada and Mexico are scrambling like a short-order cook at a lumberjack convention. Now, I love me some border security, but this tariff talk's got me more confused than a hungry baby in a topless bar. Are we supposed to pay extra for our tequila and maple syrup now? That's gonna make for one expensive yet patriotic pancake breakfast. And don't even get me started on how this will affect my Taco Tuesday and Poutine Friday traditions. I might have to switch to freedom fries and liberty cabbage. It'll be like the 1950s all over again, minus the casual racism and lead-based paint. Oh, wait. But Trump ain't stopping there, folks. He's also threatening a 10% tariff on China. I guess he figures if he can't beat him in a trade war, he might as well go for round two. It's like economic whack-a-mole, but instead of moles, it's entire countries. And instead of a mallet, it's the entire U.S. economy. Trump's wielding them tariffs like my Aunt Mabel wields her wooden spoon at the church potluck. You never know where it's gonna land, but you know it's gonna sting.
He's slapping tariffs on countries faster than I slap mosquitoes at a Louisiana barbecue.
Now, I ain't no fancy economist, but even I know that when you put a tariff on something, it's us regular folks who end up paying for it.
It's like when my ex-husband said he was going to start charging me for his cooking.
And let's not forget about that fancy USMCA agreement. Trump's threatening to tear it up faster than a toddler with a pack of Oreos.
It's like he's playing economic Jenga, and we're all just waiting to see which block brings the whole thing tumbling down.
But hey, maybe this is all part of Trump's master plan. Maybe he figures if he makes everything so expensive, we won't have any money left to buy drugs.
It's like killing two birds with one stone, except the stone is our wallets and the birds are our hopes and dreams. In the end, folks, I reckon we're all just along for the ride on this economic roller coaster. So buckle up, hold on to your wallets, and maybe start stocking up on maple syrup and sombreros. 'Cause if there's one thing I've learned from all this, it's that in Trump's America, the only thing that's certain is uncertainty. And that I'll probably need a stiff drink to get through it all.
Well, folks, that's all the time I've got. Remember, in these trying times, laughter is the best medicine. Unless you're actually sick, then please see a doctor.
And if you can't afford one after all these tariffs, well, I hear Canada's got some mighty fine health care. Just don't forget your passport and a 25% tip for the border guard.
Good night, y'all.